Hi everybody and welcome to Facebook Live. I'm Melissa Mackin and I'm here from Youth Work Ireland/Cavan Monaghan, the Youth Information Project. And we have a really packed session today because we're talking about courses, we're talking about PLC Access Program, we're talking about apprenticeships, traineeships, anything that's local to the area that would interest young people. So we have Adam Trainer here and he's the PLC Access Coordinator for Monaghan Institute. Hi Adam, you're very welcome.
Thanks Melissa, thanks very much for having me. Very welcome to be here, thank you.
No bother. So Adam, you're going to tell us about a programme maybe that young people might know about that's going to support them and help them if they decide to go to one of the local institutes. So it's called the Access Programme. So I suppose the first question is, what is the Access Programme?
Yeah, no bother. I'll go through what the Access Programme is here. So the Access Programme has been run at Monaghan&Cavan Institute since September 2019, and it's a one-year course to help and engage a learner to complete their chosen and desired level 5. Okay, so the learner in the Access course will complete level 4 and level 5 modules. So this will develop their academic skills, and as well as that, it'll build confidence, and they'll be able to taste level 5 modules in the college course. So in the first year, they do different subjects. So in the first year, they'll do things like short order cooking or culinary skills. So this will develop their kitchen skills, be able to make life decisions on healthy eating and stuff. Then they'll do everyday science and workplace safety and personal effectiveness. Okay, so helping them to build their academic skills and finishing off any level 4s they have either. Then on the program, they have mandatory level 5s, and this is to see how they engage at level 5 level, because the following year after the Access course, they'll go into their chosen level 5, whatever they may be. So someone may be interested in, say, childcare, someone might be interested in engineering. So they'll taste modules in that course. And then so when they go into the following year, they're like, right, I know I want to do engineering now, or I might want to do childcare. Then in the course as well, they have 2 core level 5s in Access course, which is level 5 communications and level 5 word processing. And they'll take those 2 level 5s in the following year, and that will reduce their workload in the following year. So the Access course really is building a strong foundation in the college and getting them used to the college and getting them used to level 5 standards. So it is. So
okay.
Yeah.
And it sounds really good. And I wonder then about, is it for students who may be feeling a bit nervous, a bit apprehensive about college, and maybe, you know, they found school difficult, but they still want to pursue a career, and it's kind of a bit of a help into them?
Yeah. Well, look, the PLC Access course is a stepping stone for them. So it is like it's breaking the barriers of college. You know, there's myself, there's the support that's going to help them in their level 5s and getting them in and around the college. And then there's well on campus, there's a guidance counsellor there as well. And the course as well has its designated counsellor that comes in every week to chat to the students with any difficulties they may have, whether it's social anxiety issues in the college or whether it's just simple things of maybe not completing assignments on time, maybe just chat to them on a one-to-one basis as well. So there's a lot of supports in place. And as well as that, the students will be able to have one-on-one conversations with myself and other tutors in the college to help them decide the following year and what course they'd like to do. So the support is foremost in the college as well. And as well as that, there is a training allowance which the students are able to receive in the course as well. So there's financial support there as well, as long with physical support on campus and emotional and physical and all the support for the guidance counsellors in the college as well. So the course really does cater to students that maybe had a rough time in education, or coming from, or maybe had a bad leaving cert or bad LCA, or come from youth reach or youth work or Feroga, that want to maybe get back into education and better themselves.
Okay. And like you were mentioning there, you know, they might have come from youth reach, or so. Is there certain criteria you have to meet to gain access to the program?
Yeah, well, there is criteria. That's a good question, Melissa. So the criteria is that you're either completed a full level 4 at NFU level, so your youth reach would cater for that, or you're doing an LTI, or that if you're working with Feroga or equivalent, so if you have your LCA either. So there is certain requirements to that there. So there is, yes. And as well as that, there is an age requirement. So roughly between the age of 16 and 21. So there is.
Okay. And like even what you were saying there, Adam, like around, you know, there might be social anxiety, you know, it's so important. Like we think about maybe 6th class students going over into first year in secondary school, but we don't necessarily think about the 18-year-old, the 17, 18-year-old having to go into their Institute of Technology, and the big difference that it makes to them, because they've been in school, you know, most of their lives, but now they have to make this kind of big leap on their own, and they mightn't be with their friends.
Yeah.
So it's kind of even having to start a whole new venture on their own.
Yeah. Look, and there is supports in place for that. Like the Access group does spend a lot of time together. So from my experience of this year, the group does come together as quite a whole. So this year we would have had a good few trips at the start of the year where we had bright icebreakers. We would have went on trips as team bonding, kayaking and adventures, stuff like that, just to get the group together as a whole. And then when they do start to break off and do their sample courses, it's a nice transition into it. So you may only sample the course once a week, and you may, some students may only go in for 5 to 10 minutes, because it is such a big step, you know, to come from a smaller center into a big place like Monaghan Institute, like, because it is a big college. And then you do have the supports in place. So if you are feeling a bit anxious, you do have the counsellor, you do have myself, you are able to chat to them. So there is definite supports, and you will make friends as well. Like there is loads of different college programs on. So you have such as your sports, and you have different programs running. So you will make friends throughout it. So you will.
Yeah. And even getting that taster thing is so good, because like we all needed that, you know, we all just jumped into courses, not realizing what they were.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's 100% true. Like, you know, we're all 17, 18 once we all head off to college, and we put down a course in our CAO that we're not totally sure of, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. So that's the beauty of the Access course. You know, it gives you the academic year to find out whether a course is for me or for you. You know, you might think going into it heavy hearted that, look, I want to be a sports coach, and you might go in 3 weeks and be like, that is not for me. And then you might end up going in childcare and think that's for me. And then you might go to sample engineering and think that's actually what I want to do. So it does give you that year to really think about an important life decision, while also reaping the benefits of getting used to college life and getting used to academic writing, getting used to putting in assignments, and getting used to Monaghan Institute, because it is a new place, as we said in the previous conversation there.
Yeah. And even so what have the students of last year, what did they think of it?
Yeah, so I did get quite good feedback from the students. They really loved the idea of sampling courses and really find out what they like, because as I said, you know, you go into college thinking you want to do something, and then you realize, wait, maybe that's not for me. So one thing with the different sampling courses, they found that the supports in place were good, because if they ever had any difficulties, they knew they had someone like me or the counsellor, like an anchor for support. So they found that very worthwhile, and they loved their time in Monaghan Institute. Like there was plenty of different opportunities. They could join clubs and societies, and they really got heavily involved. And I did have that at the start, where students were very nervous, where they were like, nope, I don't want to make any new friends, I don't want to join anything. And they were the students that end up being the treasurers and the chairpersons in the college clubs and societies. So like, you know, it's about throwing yourself in there, getting used to the environment. So like I did have very good feedback with that, and they liked the idea of, you know, doing the level 4s and level 5s to prepare them for the following year. So I did get very good feedback. So I did.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay. And is it for the full academic year?
Yeah. So the course runs from September till May. So it does the full academic year. Yeah.
Okay, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else that we didn't cover there? We did say all that it offers, because so it has, you know, the moral support in the program. It has a bit of financial support as well, and it's giving you the tasters of the different programs.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that it all?
Yeah, look, that's all covered. Like, just to break it down, like, you know, the benefits for the learners, and like why might they do it, like this familiarization of Monaghan Institute, you know, getting yourself into a new building after coming from maybe a smaller background, working with less people. There's a reduced workload after the year. You know, you go into your level 5 with 2 level 5 modules down, which is massive. Supports academic and counselling. You know, you have teachers there that want to work with you. You have counsellors there that are assigned for this group. You have samples. You have more time to choose the course for you. And as I said before, you get to gain confidence in the module. You get to gain confidence in the college, and you get to gain confidence yourself. Like I found this year that the students, like at the start of the year, were completely different people from the end of the year, because they were able to stand up and give presentations at open days, which it made myself and them so proud, because it was something that, you know, they knew they weren't able to do at the start of the year. And then as well, there's group bonding activities. The group really does come together as a whole, and they really do get to express themselves in the college. So look, anything we've chatted about, I think we've hit everything in the head. And sure, if anyone wants to chat further on, you can pass on my details, and they can drop me an email if there's anyone interested in the course, so they can.
Yeah, like we can put your email in the comments after the Facebook. Is that okay?
That's perfect. Thanks very much, Melissa.
Listen, thanks very much. It sounds like a fantastic program. It sounds like something that we all needed when we were going to college. So thanks very much for coming on, Adam.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Wish you luck with it, and we hope we get some response from it.
Thanks very much.
Okay, Adam, thank you. So just to say, we're going to have 2 more speakers on, and while we're waiting, I just wanted to say that the Access program is available in Cavan Institute and Monaghan Institute as well, which is fantastic. So it's a great service that's there, and if anybody wants to find out more information on it, they can contact me. I'll put my email in, or they can contact Adam, and we can have a chat about it. So I have 2 lovely ladies in front of me now. So I'd just like to welcome Sinead McKenna and Michelle Baker. So Sinead is the Training Services Manager in Monaghan Institute, and Michelle Baker is the Recruitment Officer. And I suppose, ladies, hi, how are you?
Great.
Good.
Thank you, Alison, for having us on.
No bother. And I wanted to get you on because we have been having some questions from young people. Like they're at a very critical stage now around courses, what's their options coming up into September, October. And I know you're going to do a bit of a presentation first, and then I'll ask you some questions after it. Is that okay?
Sure, Melissa, no problem. Thanks.
Yeah. So Sinead, you're going to work away on that, are you? Yeah.
And Youth Work Ireland to discuss traineeships and other programs on CMETB training services. So I'm the centre manager for training. We have Michelle Baker. I do understand that the diversity of training, how difficult it can be, or indeed, so first of all, I'm going to talk about the apprenticeship. So, Kaylin, what I'm going to off the next slide. So the apprenticeships were originally managed by FOSS, and CMETB took over that.
Sinead, I'm just going to stop you there because I don't know if I can hear you properly.
Okay.
Can you hear Michelle?
No, I was actually just texting her to let her know the sound was a little poor.
I can see the presentation, but I can't really hear you that well.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me now?
A wee bit better.
Okay,
Go a wee bit higher.
I might have to shout a little. So just in relation to the slide still shown at the moment, so we do have a number of presentations. Are you showing the presentation?
Yeah, he is showing it, but I can't really hear you very well. We can see the presentation. Unless Michelle could talk instead.
Absolutely. Yeah, do you want to maybe move on to the next slide then?
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have Sinead back online maybe if we have questions and answers later on. So what we're here today to sort of give you some information on is really apprenticeships and traineeships. So an apprenticeship is a programme of structured education and training which formally combines and alternates learning in the workplace and learning in an education or training centre. It's a dual system, a blended combination of on-the-job employer-based training and off-the-job training. So with an apprenticeship, you're employed with a company from day one. There's a whole host of different apprenticeships, which will give you a wee bit more information later on in the presentation. So if we go on to the next slide, I'm going to give you a little bit of information maybe about the key features and benefits of an apprenticeship. So it is industry led. So when apprenticeships are created, employers are involved with the design of the programs from the outset. It leads to qualifications between a level 5 and a level 10 on the actual framework of learning. Depending on which apprenticeship you choose, they can be between 2 years and 4 years in duration. So you're getting a really detailed qualification, but as well as that, you're getting on-the-job training. So a minimum of 50% of the course is actually done in the employer's premises. So that combination of your work-based learning and your classroom-based learning really does give you the experience and the qualification, which, you know, when you have young people who are maybe applying for jobs, you may find that they're looking for the experience. And sometimes if you go to college and you get your degree and you're maybe still not employable because you don't have the actual experience to back it up, you know.
Yeah.
There is that flexibility. Some of the programs have a mixture of online learning and off-the-job learning, and it's done in blocks. So you may find that you could be 2 months in college, and then you spend 3 months in your employer's premises, and it alternates like that, but it's different for different apprenticeships. It's all funded, so depending on which apprenticeship you choose, the employer may pay you for your full training. So when you're with them or when you're in college, or some of the older traineeships, some of the traditional 2016 traineeships, or sorry, apprenticeships, the state actually pays you for the off-the-job element. So the benefits, there's a vast range of apprenticeships to choose from. You're actually earning while you're learning. You're trained by industry professionals. So not only are you getting the academic side of it from the college, but you're also then getting the industry professionals giving you that support and that mentorship whilst you're on the job. You get your work experience, their job ready qualifications, the employer has trained you the way that you want to be trained, and there's just excellent career progression from apprenticeships. If we want to then go on to the next slide, there's over 50 different apprenticeships. Just to maybe highlight a number of them, you can see that the range really from your level 5 right up to your level 8. We have Commie Chef at a level 6, which happens in Cavan. We have electrical at a level 6. We have the accountancy at a level 7. So there's a whole host of different traineeship or apprenticeships, sorry. And as I say, it is just a matter of getting in contact with us, and we can sort of give you advice on maybe which apprenticeship maybe would suit you best. But the key about these apprenticeships is that you're employed from day one. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Then just on to sort of what my expertise or what my remit is a traineeship. And the difference really between a traineeship and an apprenticeship is that a traineeship, you're a trainee or you're a student from day one. So you're not actually employed.
Okay.
Again, they are derived around industry. Okay, so really your employers are involved with day one, designing the programs as to what qualifications that they need. So this would come on the back of where employers, local employers, are not able to get the staff that they need with the skills that they need. A whole host of different industries. We have hospitality, we have outdoor, we have engineering, manufacturing. The programs themselves are sort of between 6 to 18 months long. Typically the ones that we deliver are a 9-month program. So in 9 short months, you could have a qualification between a level 4 and a level 6, and again have your on-the-job training. So at least 30% of a traineeship is actually done in the employer's premises. And that's normally done in block weeks. So again, if you're not somebody who maybe is a very confident person in interviewing, you're given the opportunity of having maybe up to 12 weeks work experience with employer, which is really 12 weeks of you showing them what you can do, getting the experience, and then hopefully that it would lead to employment. So about 80% or so of our students who go through a traineeship actually go into employment with the employer that they've been placed with. Funding wise, all of our courses are free, so there's no charge for your apprenticeship, there's no charge for your traineeship. But if you are in receipt of a social welfare payment with a traineeship, we take over that payment for the duration of the course. If you're not in receipt of a social welfare payment, you can still do the course. Some of the companies do offer a bursary, and that can be up to maybe €100 a week. Okay, so there's some financial incentive there. So the key benefits, and maybe just to go on to the next slide for the eligibility and the benefits. So as I said, there's no course fees. There is additional maybe financial allowances as well. So you could be entitled to a training allowance, which I discussed already. But you could also be entitled to a travel allowance, a meal allowance, accommodation allowance, and also maybe a childcare, access to the SETS childcare scheme. So, you know, it is important maybe to get in contact with us that we can talk through what financial supports that you would be entitled to. One of the key things is that you're not going off to have to get accommodation and all of that. You know, if you're learning away from home, as I said, there is an accommodation allowance, and that's maybe to support people who are maybe living maybe 30 kilometres away from the training venue. So the majority of the traineeships are either done in Monaghan Institute or in Cavan Institute. And then for the outdoor activity stuff, we deliver that in Tana. So everything is sort of between Cavan, Monaghan and out there in Tweed Hill. As I said, 6 to 18 months long, and I really do feel that the value of your traineeship is you're getting your qualification and you're getting your experience, which really does help to further your employment and your training prospects. You must be just a statutory school leaving age is the requirement for the traineeship, and the other thing is that you must be an EEA national or have the right to work or study in Ireland. So this is the list of traineeships that we have. We have Advanced Building Design with 3D CAD, and we deliver that in partnership with Integra in Monaghan. We have Digital Marketing Traineeship. It's a level 5 qualification and done with a range of different employers in Cavan and Monaghan. Laboratory Assistant, so if you're interested in science, that would be a good one. We have Healthcare Traineeship, again with a range of different employers in Cavan and Monaghan. Hospitality, we do deliver that with the hotels in Cavan and Monaghan. The OEM Engineer and Technology qualification, we deliver that in conjunction with CombiLift. The Outdoor Activity Instructor Traineeship, then that's your canoeing and your mountain hiking and all of that sort of stuff, and that's the one we deliver in Tana. And we've got a lot of new exciting traineeships as well.
Yeah, there's a youth work traineeship as well, isn't there?
There is, but the youth work one is an 18-month long course, and the youth work one is happening at the moment. So our next recruitment for it won't be until September 2021, and that's just why I haven't listed that one there. So,
and there's such a variety there, which is great.
Such a variety, yeah. And then some of the new stuff there, in particular, maybe the HGV professional driver. So that's giving you your rigid truck and your Arctic truck, if somebody was interested in the driving. And then the Stonewall, which again, if you were interested in maybe the construction type traditional courses, then that's an exciting new one as well that we have. So then just finally, we've a whole host of other programs as well. They are funded, so completely free, range from sort of 2 weeks right up to a year-long programs. And I've just kind of categorized them into the 4 areas. So maybe just to flag up a couple, your plant machinery there, that one would be your dumper digger and teleporter tickets. Your computer skills is your ECDL, and then we've got your more programming type courses like your CompTIA A+ or your Network Plus courses, and then maybe just to identify there under the development courses, your Prince 2 is kind of your project management type programs. So I said that's not them all listed, it's just to give you a flavour of what we offer, and you know, do get in touch with us and we can sort of talk through a plan for you. So the contact details there, we have myself, training at CMETB, and my mobile number. listen, I'll take a text, I'll take a WhatsApp, any way you want to communicate with me, I will get back to you with any questions that you might have. And then I've put the contacts there for the guys on apprenticeships.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great, Michelle. And like there was an awful lot in that. There's loads of content,
a lot of information. Yeah.
So at least what people can watch back and see and pause this and see what they might be interested in there. And of course they can contact you.
Yeah.
But I suppose one of the questions I have is, what age do you have to be to access the courses or the apprenticeships or the traineeships?
So you're looking at statutory school leaving age. So depending on sort of when you started school, it's 16, 17 years of age.
Okay. And do you need to have like an entry requirement for any, like for example, the apprenticeships?
Yeah, so each of the courses may have their own requirements, you know. So there would be entry requirements. A kind of general rule of thumb would be, we would be looking to see that a person would have a qualification below, you know. So if you were looking at a level 7 qualification, then we'd be wanting to see that you had already achieved a level 6. Mm-hmm. But we can support and guide people as to what's the right choice for them, because again, if they've got work experience or if they've got, you know, life experience, our courses are open to people who are mature as well. Yeah. So, you know, it's really on a case-by-case basis. We'll speak to the learner and make sure that it's the right program for them. Okay. We don't want people to, you know, start something that they're not going to be capable of achieving, you know. So we'll always sit down and work with them as to what's right.
Okay. And do you have to, you know, for apprenticeships, do you have to source your own employer first to access the apprenticeship?
Yeah, with some of the courses, yes, you do. With the OEM engineering, we're doing that one slightly differently. If you contact Caroline or Siobhan, they will work with you to match up an employer. But with the other apprentices, you do need to have an employer lined up first of all. So again, I would get in contact with the guys just to support you in that.
Okay, and it sounds like, you know, there's lots of leeway for having just open conversations with you about what suits and what's right.
Yeah. Just Sinead wants to jump in there.
Yeah.
Agree with that. Level. You know, as Michelle mentioned there, the apprenticeship, there are different entry requirements. Michelle did mention that.
We can't hear you, Sinead.
Sorry, Sinead,
really
the volume's
sorry,
very
Sinead,
clear.
we can't hear you. But even if there's anything that she wants to say, we can put in the comments after this. But there was one question I did want to ask you, and it was just around, you know, the way everything is so unsure at the moment.
Yeah.
And everyone is feeling like they don't know what's going to happen in September about anything.
Yeah.
All of the stuff that you've offered today, are they going to be happening? You know, like as far as you know, and I know you can't predict the future.
Yeah. No,
but as far as you know, even with like young people trying to gain access to employers for apprenticeships, is that going to be feasible, I suppose?
Yeah, definitely so. You know, it is, all we can do is move forward with advising people and getting people enrolled into the courses. The future is very unknown, but the plan is very much that we will be back in full force from September. Just to maybe let people know in relation to the Integra, the traineeship that we have, we're actually having an open air event tomorrow, so Saturday in Integra. So if you want to find out about that particular traineeship or come along and meet me to have a chat with me about other programs, then they need to make contact with me, or they can go on to Eventbrite and book a slot. So again, just because of the restrictions, we are just booking in people into slots of time.
That's brilliant. That's great.
Yeah.
So that would be really something.
We'll have. Sorry, I'm talking over you, Melissa, but we will have other briefings. We plan to have one in Cavan on the 11th of August and one in Monaghan on the 13th of August. So at those events, we'll be giving an overview of all the courses as well, and we'll probably, depending on what happens, we'll either do that in a virtual or we'll do it in a face-to-face event. Yeah.
In real life.
Well, the virtual maybe are you in real life.
Yeah. So So Sinead, she just has written in here that, you know, Cavan Monaghan&ETB, they'll support all applicants, and there's so many different routes to go down, and they will hold events with employers seeking potential apprenticeships, so that's good news. And the OEM apprenticeships are currently recruiting for apprentices, and you can contact Cavan Monaghan&ETB. So, you know, the news is that you're open, and you're
open for business.
And that's great news for young people, because they might be feeling so uncertain about what they should be taking up. And and that what we've been saying actually throughout the weeks here is, you know, there's not just one route into education. There's loads of different ways of going about it, and people shouldn't get caught up just in, I can only go one way, or maybe their parents telling them that there's only one route into education. There's loads of different ways of getting to where you want to go, and sometimes going a bit slower can help.
Definitely. I would agree, and looking maybe at some of the feedback that I've had from candidates on courses, they've maybe gone even and done a degree and have come out and have been unable to get a job because of that lack of experience. So, you know, with the programs that we offer, you can go into further training as well, you know, so there is direct links into degrees. And so if you just wanted to take that year or that couple of years of taking a breath and sort of deciding what it is, and maybe, you know, want to make the right choices, you know, take the time and do a traineeship or you know, go for apprenticeship. We have the career service as well, part of CMETB, and they're an invaluable service in providing advice and guidance to people if they're not sure what they want to do. So like CMETB do have something for everybody, whether it's a PLC course, whether it is a training course, you know, so we will give advice if what we have isn't right for you. We'll be able to support you in another way to find you something else.
And the key is that you're open to having that conversation and helping people.
Absolutely.
Michelle, our time is up.
Thank you. And apologies, as is life, it didn't go smoothly, but
no, that's the beauty of life, and that's no problem. But listen, we got loads of information there, so thank you very much, and we'll put some information in the comments as well. So I'd like to say thanks very much for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks a million for having us.
And bye, and we'll see you guys for LGBT Live on Monday. So we'll see you then, okay?